cap. Heads could burn all of that. Orange spinning in the front, psyops in the back. We stack, burn, flip and trade a little crypto. Made other platforms famous cause the DeFi is all we know. SEC sending their letters and marking their posts. They didn't expect RH11 to come and dispose.
Heads post INC, post as we hold. Money stacking up, yeah, watch it explode. Heads post INC, post as we hold. Richard Hart versus SEC for crypto.
Post trade has made it clear it's the new L1. Keeping gas fees low on Ethereum, case one. Post extra weight into.
Yo,
Yo.
what's up, y'all? This is Robbie Creates, and I'm here with my boy.
What's going on, y'all?
And as always, we're talking crypto amongst friends, so we're gonna keep things very simple, but be very intricate, right? So let me know if you have sound issues, if you guys do tune in. I appreciate it. Now let's dive right into it, man. There's some pretty crazy things happening with the market right now, so it's not about trying to understand how to read the market. It's about like knowing that we're in technology, and this technology is appreciating over time, and while it's appreciating over time, you know, we have a chance to kind of partake in the appreciation, right? Partake in how people are slowly but surely investing into it. Slowly but surely, they're learning about it, right? Slowly and surely, they're constantly asking their friends, relatives, or whoever, you know, yo, have you heard about that? And then go and doing a little bit of research, and that's happening more and more. And the way that I think the way that works is that actually doesn't stop happening, right? You know, that's the networking effect. It keeps going, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm hearing more people talk about it. Like they don't know what they're talking about, but they're talking about the right stuff. They're talking about
Right.
crypto and DeFi. So yeah, it's good.
Perfect. Yeah, man. And you know, it's people are in this to make money. I am too. We all are. We all in for appreciation. But that's the cool thing about capturing appreciation within something that's growing constantly over time, that's going to really be here for the long haul, or you know what I mean. So most of our investments are vehicles that appreciate against the dollar. So I know I talk about that a lot. I got other videos that's covering that. But if you're in a good asset, it should be constantly going up over time. By going up over time, I mean the value versus the dollar should be appreciating, traveling up, gaining more value.
Right.
So when we look at simple structures, or more simple, because nothing's simple, we're going to look at the S&P 500 real quick. And I'm
Let's
looking at
go.
this on the 6-month scale. What that means is that each little tick you guys see on screen here, and let me actually make this a little. Each tick you guys see on screen here is 6 months of data, 6 months of information, and that means 6 months of buys and sells, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just by looking at this long scale, you can kind of see like a little trajectory, a little pattern that is here. Sorry for the jumpiness. And it's kind of a pattern that's starting from the left to the right, you know, the reading pattern is traveling upwards. Now, what that means is versus the dollar is that this is appreciating versus the dollar. This asset we're talking about again is the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in our U.S. sector. So once we understand that things like this exist, and it's not just S&P 500, it's things like gold. I know you guys hear people talk about that probably. It's things like obviously crypto, silver is within it. We have oil, that's also an asset, housing market. There's a lot of things, right? You got your actual individual stocks, like Tesla, for example, Nvidia, Apple. Apple. But the point is that, you know, if you're in a good asset, like for example, let's go take a look at Nvidia with a same 6 month scale. What do you see, boss?
Yeah, see similar.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciating.
Jeez, man, this thing is so terrible. I know it's me, but so here we go, here to here. Just show you life scale. Quick read. That's 562,000%. It's crazy.
Dang.
Over the lifespan of Nvidia, right? And that's not trying to be accurate. That's just a quick read. You know me,
That's nuts.
right? So let's look at Netflix. It should look similar. If it's any kind of good asset, it should look similar. It should have. It should be traveling up and to the right versus the dollar. You know, life scale. We're looking at 186,000%. Yeah, that's over a long period of time. From 2000 pretty much to now. That's 25 years, but I mean, 186,000%, 25 years.
Right. If you got in at the bottom or when it first started, you would have made that.
Yeah, I mean, you put in $1 and there you go, right?
Hey,
So,
timing.
yeah, let's look at this one, Tesla. I actually have some lines on there. So on the 6 month, a little bit less information available, but we still can see the same pattern. Let's pull the quick read. You feel me? And that's hitting at what? 36,000%.
37,000.
So let's do this, bro. Let's do this because this is cool. This is a cool exercise. I don't really mess with stocks, right? But here's the thing: if Tesla is at 37,000% increase, but you go and you see what they're capable of, and you look at stocks like, let's compare it to Apple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's been in here for a minute? Let's see where they're at. $191,000.
Dang. That marketing team.
So, like the power in investing, everybody talks about it. I just got out of a business meeting today where, they were covering it and they brung up Ray Dalio. So,
Mm.
and it was brilliant because he's one of our best investors that we have in our time. And he actually puts out information that people can read for free and study. So we have the information available. We have charts available. These things may seem difficult, you know. It may seem like it's some kind of secret language, but the point is that there's community, and that if people are willing to do the research, people are willing to find somebody that they can talk to about it. Yo, you 10x how fast you learn this,
Mm.
and then by the time you know it, you'll be able to understand at least how to play these long skill cycles, or forget playing cycles, right? You just learn how to just buy and hold and understand that you're in technology, and that good technology appreciates against the dollar. Good assets appreciate against the dollar.
Right. He said, and he was saying new technology is always the driving forces for economies to stay alive. Is like for the technology to be pushing it forward.
Yeah,
So
bro.
that's why, like right now, we're in a good time because of that.
Right. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and look at some. Let's get back to crypto. Let's get out of that.
Give me 1 second. Trying to get this down.
So before we get to these crypto charts, again, not financial advice for anybody that tunes in late, catches the live, catches the replay. But I've covered the cycles before on a few of my other channels, but I'm gonna briefly touch it because it's so important. And what we need to understand is that crypto is a good asset because it's technology, right? Now I'm not saying every crypto, but I'm saying what crypto is a representation of the new companies on the blockchain. Now, you don't have to know what that means. What we do need to know is that Web 2 has depreciated, meaning it's old, clunky now, and we're constantly getting hacked. Information is not readily available when we need it, and it bogs down processes in businesses now. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody has found it very has found a fluid avenue to use AI and all the newest technology to beef up their processing systems, yo. Because that's kind of where we cut out the middleman and you kind of gain your biggest return of value as a company when it comes to software. So with that being said, if you can throw an agent in there that's smart, that used to be a human that can do everything for you, it makes you more money. But then if you can replace that agent with a robot that can do that 24/7, it makes you more money. But then if that robot is an expertise, it makes you more money. But then if that robot is an expertise in your field, but then has like I would say private data that you provide to it and train it with, then it makes you more money and now personalized to you, right? So this is the era we're going. We have no choice, and the Web3 provides that structure, that security factor, because you know good uh, without good structured internet, we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be able to do things like run like Tesla cars autonomously and
Mm-hmm.
hope that they don't crash or hope they don't get hacked. So to have this new internet structure, it allows us to separate certain processes, certain softwares off into their own data centers. Not data centers, wrong, but off, that's how you could think of it. Off into their own data worlds, right? Where they can kind of control who comes in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only control who can comes in and out, it allows transparency, at least on the DeFi world. So for personal people, this allows us to really pass information back and forth whenever we want, how we want, and to who we want. I say, damn, nigga, sound like you're doing chainsaw.
Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, it whoever we want and who we want, bro. So like that's the whole point of technology when it comes to what we're adopting, and that's just on the sense of solving money. We're not even talking about solving the tech stacks and how code operates and how code talks to each other and having code help you do things in your normal daily life, right? That's a whole nother level that Web3 brings as well, because you got to remember that without security you can't do none of that. So already Web3 solves that with bringing security, but then it brings that extra processes with smart code
Mm-hmm.
and contracts. So we're not going to touch into that because it's a whole nother thing. But this is why you need. I always bring this up because as a web developer, I'm trying to tell people that crypto is not a gamble unless you make it a gamble. Crypto is technology. It's the newest tech. It's like investing in Nintendo. You could tell Nintendo was going to be a thing. You just had to get out your own head, your own way, and invest in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So this is Bitcoin. Never mind the lines and all this crazy stuff. We can look. Well, let me actually. That's probably should go in a lot cleaner. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this from scratch because I don't want to show too much like that. That's just crazy. We'll do. Um,
Yeah, there's a lot going on that one.
yeah.
It looks good though. Mm.
We'll do the Binance chart real quick, just cause I know it's clean. I don't never touch it. My little algorithms on it. I code my own Pine script, so that's what's right here. Create EMA cluster Autobot. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is right there. I'm trying to see if I can show. Yeah. So for people who don't understand, like there's certain people that really do, that really are in this. So this is my own algorithm I have running behind the scene. Yeah, that's showing you some of these lines and stuff that you see here. That's so as we dial it in more, you'll see. Now, never mind it, it's a work in progress. Like, see this part sell by here? I have it right in the line. So this is just to help me. I don't use this to buy and trigger. I use this to help me ride the trend. So, and therefore it makes me doing things like selling at tops like this or getting ready to very easy repetitively. See what I'm saying? Or bottoms, or buying in on bottoms like this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
But I will
Yeah.
perfect this range and squeeze it out to get it to be more aggressive. I just don't want to do that yet. There's no point. We're in holding season, baby. You know, just get your asset and hold. So this is Bitcoin. All right, on a clean scale. I'll let's hide my chart. So we're on a weekly. Let's go to the monthly. Right? Always we see the straight arrow up, right? Now, what's important to understand about charts is that we want to learn how to read out from in, meaning you want to get the longest reading of data possible, right? The longest reading possible. So this is going back from 2020, right? Which is not even a whole thing, but it's going back from 2020 all the way till here. And the reason I'm showing this chart is because I don't chart this chart because it's not fluid for me because it doesn't stretch back farther enough. I have my other charts that do that. But this is a clean field where I can show you guys how to quickly mark up some charts. Because otherwise, what are we doing here? We don't actually show you how to do this. So, quickly
Yeah, that's
what we
what I
want
want.
to do, yeah, quickly what we want to do is this. We want to understand when we have a chart full of data and we're on a monthly scale, that's enough time to kind of, hopefully for some people, not for everybody. That's
So are
enough
you
time
just
to,
taking like the lowest low at right now?
yep, that's enough
Okay.
time to read buy and sells in between. Each bar is a month for people that don't know that. That's what we have it set on. And that month is a full 30 days or whatever the month is of people selling or buying. The candle color you see is the result of the majority at the end of every closing hour. All right? So, let's look at ads, right?
It's majority.
Yeah. So if there's more sellers than buyers, the candle's going to be red, right?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
The candle color shows the majority. I got you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
The majority at the close, though. At the close. So
Right.
it's just like if the price is sky high and then the market closes for 24 hours to start the next day on the next chart, right? It closes at that candle. So, you know, if it was more buyers, then it's green. If it was more sellers, then it's red.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So what we like to do is take your monthly and start looking for a bottom, last bottom of the first bottom you see. And what you want to do is you want to kind of touch this bad boy up till you see a break. This is what I would consider a break. See how that line does this? So you see it's going up and going up and going up and going up. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a really big break in structure coming down. And
Right.
this is your first level of checking. You're like, okay, I can see a pattern here. This upward pattern. Now you're constantly checking for what? Lower lows. So you see how I'm tracking this line?
Mm-hmm.
What am I looking for? That lower low for it to possibly be here. If that does not show, you have to mark it at what? Your lowest low. So that's why data is like, that's why people hate trying to tell people how to chart because it's so relative, right? Based on the time frame you're looking at. All this shit changes as we go to a week.
Your lowest low. So what exactly do you mean by you mean like the way that you want to play the market?
Your nearest, your next. So look, it's like a breaking structure. This, and here, I'm going to walk you through it because you're right. Let me go slow. Boom, the chart goes up. You see red, right? We
Mm-hmm.
chart a line, it breaks it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We come back down, it goes up again. It goes back down. We chart a line, it breaks it. See how that green broke the line? So now
Yeah.
we find the nearest. It broke down in this structure. We chart a line, it breaks it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, follow this down path. Chart a line, breaks it. Follow this down path. Chart a line, breaks it. You see what I'm saying? Follow
Right.
this
So
down.
you're trying to keep the bars like in within your
So
line. You want to keep the
it's
bars
yeah,
like
it's looking for consistency. Cause what I'm trying to map is like you can't really map people buying and selling. How do you know? Like right? So what you do try to do
right.
is have some kind of consistency, like on your chart. And in order to do that is having a set of rules. So that's why people don't
Mm,
like giving out charting advice because like I gotta give you my rules and like what my rules mean. They mean nothing. It's based off my brain. But there are patterns and you can try to find those patterns based on like a whole bunch of historical way that the earth works. And that's where we get into Fibonacci scale, rule of thirds, right? So you try to use those natural elements
mm,
and bring them into here to find those landing bases, those roots. You see what I'm saying? So that's
yeah.
what we're doing. And that's what people always try to refer to labels like cups and handles and you know
Mm,
so on and so forth. Dead cat bounce, whatever. But none of that matters. W, V shape. Like I could be showing you
yeah.
all those, but none of those matter.
All
So what
those
I'm showing
pattern
you,
signals.
right? What I'm showing you is what I think matters, is what I've learned that matters, and you can take it and then you know what I mean. Go from there with more. So this hits here. Watch how this red hits here, and what happens. So you notice how we ran through that whole chart. We marked this red. Do you see a break in pattern?
No.
There you go. So is this a standard line that we can use? You see what I'm saying?
If it doesn't break, then yeah, right?
Right. Absolutely. I'm just gonna fix this more, make sure it's accurate. All right, right there. So
Because
there's
from my
no.
understanding, you're trying to keep it within those lines. And
Yeah,
they
you can
wouldn't break.
consider it that, but what I'm since I'm charting raw data right now, it's just charting kind of your arena, your ranges, your zones. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't just dive into it and say, "Oh, this is the range." How do you know? So what I'm doing is I'm using the chart to give me a sense to tell me what has been happening, right?
Right.
Without looking at articles. Because we know this is buys and sells. So articles are what? Things that pushes buys and sells.
Manipulation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the result of.
Right.
Well, sorry, not even. It's the cause. But it's the result of the investors. Investors move first. So yeah. So look, we can get this base. Now we want to do the same thing for the top. Right? So see how we going up to the top here? This is our first green candle. Just like our first red candle. See what I'm saying? And we
Doesn't
look.
break.
See, my brain wants to just skip here for you, but I'm not. I'm just gonna do this. Look, we're gonna go here. See that? Boom. Chart it through. What do we get?
Break.
See how that broke through? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is still green till. So from right here, we chart that through. And never like this is gonna start looking like it might look scary with that funnel, but that shit's important. Because you got to
Mm,
remember, we're looking at the life scale of a chart. See what I'm saying? And when we looked at the S&P 500 and all those other ones, what did they do? Straight up to the right. Because they're what? Charted against the dollar. So this funnel is a good sign. So what I've noticed is that this funnel, when I start at the beginning of the charts, having this little microphone, right? Being able to set this up once you get enough information typically means you're in a good asset.
hmm.
Now, appreciating asset, shall I say? Because what is a good asset, right? So let's go
Yeah.
to the S&P 500, and
One
then
that appreciates for sure.
yeah, we're gonna go to the 6 month scale to pull the data. Let's go 12 months. I'm gonna make it small, make it look like Bitcoin. There we go. So this is 12 months, a ticker. I'm gonna do the same thing. Watch what happens. You ready? Bottom. Break. Right? See that?
Mm-hmm.
Just give him a second. Break. Right there. Break. Right there. Right?
Mm-hmm. And boom.
So look, this, if we chart it here like how Bitcoin did, boom, 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 right, in its first years, you're looking at that first funnel. But see, over time, it had its reset, right? But then
Yeah.
the break occurred because it's appreciating against the dollar. It better be going up over time. Period. That's
Oh,
all we
it's
want
not
to
a
know.
good asset.
Or it ain't good asset. Like you see what I'm saying? When we get that basis, people back in the day didn't have this kind of information, right?
Dang. So as long as it
So
goes up to the right, then you're winning.
yeah, man. And
I
obviously
mean,
it's
against
more
the
than that,
dollar,
right? You
against
know
the
what I mean?
dollar,
It's more than that.
yeah.
Yeah, as long as the chart is telling you that, you
You're right.
got one of your factors solved, right? Is what I like to think of it.
But aren't there some times when the dollar does trend up, or does it always trend down?
Well, let's go look at it. That's a good question. So that's a break in structure, and now we put it here to the current. So the S&P, how crazy is this? The S&P 500 is making a what? New all-time high, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the new all-time high is obviously correlated to the new breaking structure. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But you still see that big funnel, that microphone, and that better occur.
Mm-hmm.
That better be the whole entire case as long as the dollar exists the way it does. So let's go look at the dollar.
Look at that dollar.
This is on the same 12-month scale. Here's the dollar. People do not look at the dollar this way, where they're automatically wrong. Right? Like nobody's wrong. Fuck that, bro. I hate saying that. But it's just like they just don't look at the long scale. I don't know why. I see so many people on YouTube doing charts and stuff, bro, and they will refuse to look at the long scale of the chart, and especially in a way where it makes sense, like 12-month ticker, right? Where you can really look at the whole thing and like you see what it looks like now. Watch when I expand this out. Look at this. This is the dollar. See how that feels now when you look at it like that?
Oh yeah, it does not feel good. I mean, depending on how you're looking at it. If you know that you're gonna hedge against it, then it feels good.
Mm-hmm. And I already have a Fibonacci. What you're looking at with the color boxes is a Fibonacci scale, and that's that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's that rule of thirds that I like to talk about that exists in the markets, where it kind of helps people have these natural plots of resistance and consolidation periods.
Yeah, like it goes smooth down and it consolidates up. Smooth down, consolidates up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
And
having
this,
pressure. It's got
right,
pressure going up.
right. Let's look at it smaller data, right, just to show you some more. 6 months, so you can kind of see how that's vibrating.
Mm. What do you mean vibrating exactly?
Exactly what I mean. And that's how I range trade, right? Because these
Like
assets
how it's
vibrate.
bouncing?
Yes, they vibrate. like like an atom. An atom is always vibrating, right? It's never still. You see what I'm saying? So these charts are a reflection of nature. You know what I mean? It can't just go down. It can't just go up. It vibrates back and forth
Mm.
constantly. And that vibratory motion is buy and sells. That's what drives the vibratory motion of these charts of what we're looking at, right? Buy and sells constantly.
Right.
What is
Because
occurring
within those
more?
candles is a lot of buying and selling.
Just period. Just period. Buy and sell. Only reflection.
So are we in a
You see what I'm
6 month? All
saying?
right.
Because it's assets, and that's the coolest thing about talking about assets is that all we have to talk about is just buys and sells, right? That's it.
Right. That's all it is.
That's all there is to it. They may have other things like that do extra stuff, occurring beforehand or in between arbitraging, but that's all to it. So pulling back the 12-month scale, you see the dollar around 67, right? Was at 120. So this is what I want to ask you, bro. Right? When you see something like this, like our dollar was at 120 in 1967, according to this data chart on TradingView. And now the index is pointing to what? 98, sorry. And currently
Right.
falling on a 12-month scale.
Mm-hmm. And not looking to go up anytime soon.
You feel me? I mean,
Yes.
it might, right? But the point is that here's what I'm trying to say. So by you having a long scale reading, you see that in 67 it was 120. It's not at 120. When was the last time it was 120? Again, right? We go look at the chart.
67.
We don't have to guess, right?
Yeah, it's right
2000,
there.
fucking 2002. Feel me? 2 years after .com boom.
Mm.
And the 98, the start of it was in 98 actually, right? All that right here. So you can, that's why I'm saying the charts tell us everything. See how all of a sudden articles are coming and matching in, right? As we speak and put keywords to it. You know what I mean? Like you can see this green candle, occurring in 97. You know what I mean? And then this red, massive red candle, 98 in the dollar. Green, freaking 99, 2000, 2001. And then there it is done. Just goes fucking nuclear right after. You see what I'm saying? Shit, what happened in 2001?
9/11.
And that's not the only thing, right? So many things happen. But yeah, bro, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
This is why the charts are so wicked. It tells us everything.
'Cause we went to war after that. There's all that spinning the dollar.
Like you said, so many things have happened in between each of these 12 months, each of these years.
Well, we've been at wars for like since then. So we've been at war for 20 plus years. War is costly.
Absolutely.
We got everything going on at this point right now. We got pressure going like to push the market, and we got pressure pulling against it.
And you see the dollar's 12 month is already past the last 3 year low, right? Approaching the last 4 year low.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a 3 year downtrend activated this year for the dollar. And we can see the highest points here, with the dollar, right? Boom, boom. See what I'm saying? 85, 2002, highest peak. And
that was all the way back to 85. Damn.
And what are you looking at again? A 22, a double peak, a 22 to a 25, right? Right.
It was already dang.
Look, what you're seeing on the fib, and what I'm seeing, is this breaking structure, right? It gets down, consolidates, breaking structure to go up, but then meets its next level of resistance, which was his last resistance. Perfectly, right? Of course. Drops down.
All right, look right there where you're pointing. That's the housing market.
Consolidates. Goes up, breaks the structure, and now look at what it's doing. So either we get a nice red candle here, and break structure cleanly, get back up to this possible fib, which I don't think we're going to do, because that's the whole point of this fib, right? It was like that's the stall point, and we retrace lower and continue our downtrend for the dollar, because the dollar is doing what? A big freaking fat arrow down, bro. Right? It's doing this.
That's yeah.
That's what they're doing. You feel me? Seriously.
Dang.
That's what it's doing.
Mm.
Yeah, you get me? That's why I love them arrows. You draw them on anything to help you get your momentum. And if you obviously
Which
you
way
don't
we
have to do
going?
it like that. You can make it accurate. You put it on the point, pop, right? Now if I put it on the current, here's the current. Look at that.
Hmm.
Helpful, right?
Dang.
Where at all did I talk about chart patterns and fucking cup and handles, bro, dead cat bounces, M shapes, W's, right? Double tops, fucking falling knives, right? I haven't, no, it's not fucking needed, man.
Mm.
Just patterns. Because the reason it's not needed is because we're reading human emotion. And to attach a label on human emotion is just, we
Dumb.
already know what that's got us, right?
Yeah.
Because who know what the fuck people thinking at any moment.
Oh, you know, people know what they did.
Yeah. So this is the power of the charts, bro. Swinging that back to Bitcoin, right? So you see how that's stacking up with that 12-month scale. People don't show charts like this, but they should because this is exactly what happened. You feel me? I don't know why people don't show Bitcoin charts like that. I never seen even the people I like following. I never see them show Bitcoin charts like this. It's like, but this is exactly what happens and what's happening.
They don't
When
want,
you're
they
not
don't want them
showing it
to
like
know.
this. You know. So yeah, pretty much. Let's stretch this out real quick so we can talk about it. Walk this up. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, all these little lines. That's just
This is your chart, right?
yeah.
All right.
This is my chart with this is not my Bitcoin history chart, which is what I should be showing. I'm pulling it up on the other screen. This is just a chart with my algorithm in the background. I have it off. Let me turn it on. There you go. Close. So that's my algorithm right there. See that? With the calls,
Mm-hmm.
the buy sells, and the range boxes in between, and the wave lines right there.
Yeah.
These boxes is just it's just some cool stuff. I say cool. It's nerdy. It's just some stuff I did for myself to understand certain things. It would be too much to explain, but visually it helps, as you can see, as you look at the little candles in between. But let me turn my cluster off. So yeah, so see the boxes, see how they help stack. You kind of can see what they're doing there. They're kind of fib boxes that I've been making on some weird shit, but yeah, you'll see, bro. You get nerdy with this stuff, man. Once you start getting like intricate, with it, cause I don't know, it's cool, man. It's cool.
I feel like you're just finding your way.
Yeah, that's how everybody does it, and that's how I
Mm-hmm.
hope people try to show the charts. Is that get in here, look around in the charts, like find your way. Like I'm about to present. Um,
Like, how does it make sense to you? You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. So I'm about to show another screen here where it's my history chart for Bitcoin. It's gonna have a lot more information, but it's worth showing, especially since you're here and you're very active with understanding how the chart flow works. So it's gonna be perfect for you to look at this now, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and open this up. So don't let the line scare y'all. Appreciate the extra people tuning in on YouTube. Are you into hats and post chain? Heck yeah, I am. That's why we know this information like this. Only the savvy that stumbled upon hats seems to know information like this, right? Like
Just,
everybody knows the cycle, but
did somebody just send you a message and ask you that?
yeah, they asked it in on YouTube. Yeah, but only
Oh,
only let's just say only like certain groups in crypto. Everybody knows cycles, right? Or you better know cycles. I mean, if you're man, listen, you don't know cycles, you're 100% gambling. I don't want to hear that shit.
dang.
You're 100% gambling if you don't know about crypto cycles. This is right here. I'm showing you. Take a screenshot of this shit. You know what I mean? I'm showing you right now, like how the cycles. I have everything marked since the beginning of Bitcoin's history. So
Yeah, that's fire.
you know what I mean? I'm showing the bottoms with the circles, local tops, and I'm showing percentages gains between local tops. But then I show percentage gains from the last cycle high until profit. So if you were to invest badly as the last fucking person at every single high, I charted how long it would take for you to gain profit by the next cycle.
Dang.
Bro, there's no losing this shit if you just fucking sit on your hands. Pretty much is what that says, right?
Mm.
If you sit on your hands for more than a full cycle ish, a little bit longer, right? That's what my chart is telling me. And it gets better and better because the volatility of Bitcoin is getting lower and lower as more people get interested.
Right.
And I have a few events marked on it, just things I wanted to keep notice of. Like when Richard Hart released his post chain and we paired EWBTC at a price of $37. Your boy got him, you know.
Bagged up.
Hey,
Bags.
we got our own version of Bitcoin, baby. I knew what I was doing. You know that coin is at like last time I checked, it was up there. It was like 800 something a pop or something like that. Oh yeah.
Mm.
So now that you see that, we can get straight into it, and I can allow you to kind of really piggyback. So what we have here, I'm going to go on the 3-month, squeeze this in more, because I'm showing you enough information. And this will kind of give you that nice sense. I just wanted to show you a lot of data first before we squeeze it out. And then we're going to look at the long scale. Now you see that? So obviously we're looking at the same thing. We're looking at the Bitcoin going up and to the right. It better be going up and to the right if it's a good asset. It better be going up and to the right if it's technology. It better be going up and to the right if people are constantly getting involved with it and is appreciating against the dollar because the dollar is going down. And to the right,
All the way.
literally. So we've already proven that on the charts. If you haven't seen that, please check that back. We got that. What do you think about the charts of Pulse and Hets? It's been rough this cycle, bro. Yeah, bro. But have you ever looked at? Oh, I'm gonna touch on that in a second. Have you ever looked at the cycles of any new L1? You gotta realize Pulse Hets is rough because the entire community. I don't even know why people don't tell people this. The entire community has split into like not even halves, bro. Not even quarters. We're literally fractured in like a pizza. It's like you taking your favorite pizza and then you allow everybody to dress a different topping of the 8 slices. You ain't gonna want any other slice but yours, right? So that's where we're in right now. Until people synergize and that probably won't happen naturally. Who knows? But products eat other products. That's what's gonna happen, right? Canonicalization is what we call it in the web. That's what's gonna really happen. Okay? And that's why Richard's never worried. Hess is a proven product that's just going to eat everything that's not good. They're eventually going to lose their liquidity. So, knowing that, we want to understand that, like, the Ethereum pumps first. Bro, Ethereum pumps first. Come on now. Ethereum hasn't even hit an all-time high. And people want alts to go. If your alt is going and Ethereum hasn't even started going, right? Which has just started getting some attraction, then that's obviously manipulation. How do we know that? Liquidity. literally,
Right.
literally, right? It's get as simple as that, and that's why so many people don't know what the fuck they're talking about in crypto, bro. Like, and you just don't care, and you just trade against them. You take their coin. Period. That's all I do, bro. Ratio trade and take coin. Meanwhile, I'm
Thank
happy.
you.
You
Thank
know what I mean?
you.
I
Come
don't
again.
care if we're at a low price. And that's why, and that's the one thing about the charts about Hets people. That's why people, certain people in Hets are not even talking right now because they don't care, right? Because once you understand Hart's law, liquidity, arbitraging, ratio trading, you're eating right now, because the prices are consolidating. So ranges is when we eat, right? Ranges are our favorite.
Right.
Too many coins at this point. But didn't ETH hit an all time high? Did it? When? So you talking current, right? Like,
You said
there goes
what?
my funnel right there. Person in chat asked, didn't ETH hit an all time high? Yeah, when? You mean right now? So you mean you want your altcoin to run in front of ETH? And that's the thing. So you have to
Oh,
look at the
yeah.
market cycle and look at when do altcoins perform. Are they before ETH or after ETH or alongside of ETH? Only certain coins can perform alongside of ETH based on liquidity. Liquidity is the most important thing. Not it's the most important. It's so many things important. Liquidity is important, bro. Understand liquidity, and you can kind of match up how the cycle plays off to your specific coin, because your coin has a different kind of ratio, right? People are pairing it different in the market with other coins. They may not all be attached to Ethereum and Bitcoin and Hets. It may be attached to shit coins. And now,
Right.
yeah, but see, month, right? Month is a very short scale. And that's why on my scale that I see here on this chart, I'm showing this is a 3 month scale. So in this 3 month, you can kind of see how we're in this little uptrend pattern. And this nice, beautiful uptrend pattern with ETH. And you can see how ETH just barely broke its all-time high. So when you say month it broke its all-time high, you're referring to a wick on a 3 month. So that's why data and the range you choose to trade is so important, because it can kill you, right? You always want to look outward in. Not always, whatever, do what you want, but I say look outward in. You know what I mean? Not financial advice, but look outward in, so you can get a holistic approach. So last month was just if you know anything about how resistance work, right? Typically when you're approaching an all-time high, you don't just break the all-time high. How many times did Bitcoin test its all-time high before it broke it this year? So are you expecting, are we as traders expecting Ethereum to do the same thing, to touch its all-time high or near it multiple times before it actually breaks past it? Right? So yeah, bro. Like you say, so if you learn how to eat in a range, which this is an entire range here. This is a long scale. Let's squeeze that down. Let's go to a week, because they were this person was referring to last month. Mitchell was referring to last month. So we go to a week chart, right? So I'm showing you on a weekly scale. Each tick is a week. You can see how there's a lot of resistance at this upper band here, and I'm gonna draw this fat arrow. I love this arrow. Arrows they're like my best, because it punches it through. So I'm gonna draw this arrow. You see that? What are you
Right.
thinking, Lo? You see that arrow?
I see
All
it.
right, perfect. Make it a little deeper. There we go. All right. You know what I'm saying? We doing Photoshop on these charts, baby.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? So
Gradients.
look at that arrow. So what you're reading is just barely ETH getting started. Just barely, after meeting multiple points of natural
One,
resistance. Now watch
two,
this. Where's this
three.
multiple points of natural resistance? Let's get our bots out. Right? Let's go ahead and go here to this bottom range here and extend the box. And this is the magic people don't show y'all, bro. Okay?
Oh
There's
my
your range
goodness.
box. Just like that. Your upper range. You see what I'm saying? Check.
Right.
I feel that, bro. But the other coins are so far from all-time highs. Absolutely. How far after ETH breaks out do you think the coins? I mean, there's no time frame, right? The point is that you have an anchor. Don't think of it as it's like the seasons. You know seasons come, but my God, bro, do you control the earth?
Do you
Hell
know
no.
how cold it's gonna be?
Hell no.
Is it gonna snow tomorrow? It might.
But you know the season's coming. You know for a fact winter's coming. But you don't know what day specifically. You
Straight
don't know
up.
when you're gonna start feeling it, right? But you can read it. If you're if you're an astrologist, right, you can fucking start matching out, oh, this is doing this and this and this and this, and try to come up with some fucking, you know, back end theory to try to, say they're influencing the Earth's weather system or whatever. But bro, you don't know.
Right.
That's all you can do is come up with a theory and then have patterns. Even in weather they have back history, right? They have patterns,
Yeah. I mean, just
historical
like in
charts.
sports, you can feel
Same.
when the blitz is coming. You can feel when the trap's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just
So hopefully what I'm
based
saying
off
is
the
making sense.
patterns.
Yes, sir, bro. Does it make sense, bro, what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You got any
What
questions?
about me? Oh,
Yes, sir.
oh, me? Oh
Yes,
shit,
sir.
man.
You got any questions,
I'm
PM?
like, I'm like, this is connecting the dots for real.
Perfect, perfect. That's what I'm hoping to do, man. Connect the dots online, and if anybody stumbles upon this video, namaste.
Yeah, because
Give
I
it a
mean,
signifier like,
from what I'm understanding
because
is
the
like what you're
information I
doing
give,
is you're putting us in position to make a move. Like, because you
absolutely.
can't make a move without being in position. That's what I tell all my athletes, though. Like, you gotta be in position to explode. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, I appreciate it, Mitchell. Thank you for the questions because that helps me get this information out cleanly, in a way that people actually want to digest it. Because we're in a time where people, they need things in the way they want them, right? There's an actual articulate way to digest information now per person, which is crazy.
Mhm.
So it's a
Right.
whole new thing, man. So yeah, we
Yeah,
can
this is dope, bro. I love this.
yeah, and this is the Ethereum chart, right? It's transfers to all. Go back to my Bitcoin chart where you can see where I have these historical markings. I charted the entire. You're not, if you listen to somebody like Wells, I know Mitch, you say you're in Hets. Listen to somebody like Wells. He's fantastic. He will tell you don't fucking do this. But I'm a
Right.
history buff, so that's why I did it. So you gotta understand everything has reasons. Like when Ari say, don't invest in fucking E-hets because no, he didn't say don't invest it, but he said E-hets P-hets ratio 1 to 6. What the fuck? Hell nah. Says who? Says you, right?
The market has
Nah,
to decide.
nah. We decide, bro.
The market
And
decides. Yeah.
last time I checked, that may been be he may have said that because at that time fucking gas was terrible, but now it's not. So yeah, bro, we ain't even gonna go there.
That's another stream. Another stream.
Yeah. So hopefully, I'm gonna keep diving into this historical chart, and I'll go more in the weeds next stream with the little intricacies of talking about the percentages and how that bell curve works, the S curve, sorry, works, and how Bitcoin is gaining value, is constantly appreciating against the dollar, but it's doing it slower and slower per cycle, right? And that's just how the Metcalfe's law, networking effect works, so on and so forth. Principles work, right? It's just weird.
Straight up.
It's just weird relating the cycle and nothing besides BCC and has pump. Yeah, man. But if you check the cycles, what I have noticed, this is a gem. What I've noticed is that none of the cycles were the exact same. They were short 4 years, just barely, or just like extended past 4 years. And what that means is just like the seasons, you don't know what day the season's going to start, but you know the season's coming.
Mm. Right. Just gotta get position.
And as you can see from the charts I just showed you, ETH just triggered that the season's coming, right? Because that's what we wait on altcoins. We don't wait on Bitcoin. ETH waits on Bitcoin. And this is based off liquidity, not based off of freaking people being all crazy in their head and being in clans and shit, right? This is based off of fucking liquidity, like real actual pools locking coins to each other, right? By contract, per contract. That's telling us the percentage value. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and we'll go over some of those tools that we can look at. If you're in Hats, you know a lot about those tools. We have a lot of them. Our community members build them. I'll build some, and once your boy gets some free time, we get paid. We start making some tools. But until then, it's about pumping the market. Because I don't know why people are building now when we got superior builders, bro. At this point, you should be marketing. Focus on marketing. Focus on pushing the word and not yourself, yo. Like, not trying to put your name out there. I'm a fucking full stack web. Like, I ain't say that right. I'm a full stack web developer, yo. Like, seriously, like a real one. Doing it currently. And I'm not putting out builds. Because, like, why the fuck would I when we got Hets? This shit is, Hets is superior. What the fuck y'all doing? But, yeah. That's a whole nother thing with Hets, right?
Wow. Straight up.
Bro. You got anything else before we finish off? That's.
Yeah, man. Not right now. I think that was good for me.
Right. For those who don't know, I track everything, even the oil market, right? I track everything that I see is like valuable. The housing market, right? Because you already, I mean, if you're not tracking the housing market, but what are you doing? Like, easiest flip we got coming up for us, right? They gotta do something about it. So this is the easiest flip we got coming up for us. We're just gonna have to sit, wait. We don't know how long it's gonna be, but if you catch any of this, and you sit, you get this. That's how that works, right? Appreciation.
Dang.
It's the same with this little one.
Fire.
You get this, and you sit, you get this. Investing 101, not financial advice. Love y'all. Spread the word. Make sure if you make sure you're coming out, pass the word. Get some people in here that actually want some real information, because that's all I share. You know, we don't have time to fake. So hopefully you got some other internet ninjas like me out there. If you do, hook me up with them, because we're gonna be doing some interviews and stuff like that.
Let's get it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Peace, blessings, y'all.
Cap, Hess could burn all of that. Always spinning in the front, psyops in the back.
We stack, burn, flip and trade a little crypto.
Told me that the platform's famous cause the DeFi is all we know.
SEC sending their letters and marking their posts.
They didn't expect RH11 to come and dispose.
Heads post INC, post as we hold. Money stacking up, yeah, watch it explode. Heads post INC, post as we hold. Richard Hart versus SEC for crypto.
Post Trade has made it clear it's the new L1. Keeping gas fees low on Ethereum, case 1.
Post extra weight into crypto.
Regulations gonna take things slow. Everyone knows we stack, burn, flip, and hold every bit we own. Richard